A woman told me something last month that genuinely stopped me mid-sentence. We were at a dinner party, the kind where everyone looks successful on paper. Professionals in their 30s and 40s, good careers, educated, socially polished. The conversation drifted, as it often does, toward dating. She was 34, attractive, intelligent, stable career, never married. And with complete sincerity, she said, "I honestly don't understand where all the men went." I looked around the room. 7 men stood within earshot, all single, all employed, all socially functional. They were right there, within arm's reach, and somehow invisible to her. That moment crystallized something many people have sensed but rarely articulated. There's a growing disconnect between what women believe exists in the dating world, what men believe is happening, and what is actually unfolding between them. Men over 30 are often caught in the middle of this confusion, simultaneously necessary and overlooked, visible and invisible at the same time. So today, we're not going to attack anyone. We're going to map the psychology, because much of the confusion in modern dating isn't caused by bad intentions. It's caused by mismatched perceptions operating at the same time. The illusion of scarcity. Many women over 30 genuinely feel there's a shortage of good men. This feeling is real. They scroll through apps and feel discouraged. They attend social events and go home alone. They experience absence. But psychologically, scarcity and perception are not the same thing. Human attention works through filtering. The brain eliminates most available information before conscious awareness ever begins. In dating, this means many potential partners never register as options at all. If a man falls below certain attraction thresholds, appearance, confidence, income signals, social energy, he may not even enter consideration. Not rejected, simply unseen. At the same time, many men who do meet those thresholds no longer approach. From her perspective, a man who does not initiate feels unavailable. So the result becomes paradoxical. Rooms full of men, yet emotionally, zero options. The scarcity feels objective, even when it is largely perceptual. Why men stopped approaching. One of the most common complaints among women over 30 is simple. Men don't approach anymore. And compared to previous decades, they're right. But behavior changes when risk calculations change. For many men today, approaching carries uncertainty that didn't exist before. Social embarrassment is no longer the only risk. Misunderstanding can carry reputational consequences. Public rejection now has an audience, sometimes online. At the same time, dating apps introduced a safer alternative. Instead of risking rejection in real life, men can interact only where interest appears mutual. The cold approach became optional, and many abandoned it entirely. There's also another factor: messaging. For years, cultural signals emphasized boundaries around unsolicited interaction. Many men listened carefully and adjusted their behavior accordingly. Ironically, compliance created a new problem. Women experienced silence where they once expected initiative. Both sides reacted logically, both sides interpreted the outcome differently. The age shift nobody talks about. Around 30, something subtle changes in dating dynamics. Men and women often experience this shift in opposite directions. Many men reach increasing stability in their 30s. Careers solidify, confidence grows, identity becomes clearer. For some, attractiveness rises compared to their 20s. Women, meanwhile, often feel rising social pressure, whether related to family expectations, timing, or comparison with peers settling down. Neither experience is imaginary. But when these timelines collide, misunderstandings emerge. The same behaviors that once felt natural begin to feel threatening. Delayed commitment looks like avoidance. Increased selectivity looks like rejection. Both sides interpret normal adaptation as personal failure. The selectivity gap. Research consistently shows a difference in how men and women evaluate attraction. Men tend to rate attraction along a broad distribution. Many potential partners fall somewhere in the middle. Women's attraction patterns, however, often cluster more narrowly, with a smaller percentage perceived as highly attractive. This doesn't mean women are unfair, it reflects evolutionary and psychological filtering mechanisms tied to mate selection. But the consequence is powerful. A smaller group of men receives a disproportionate amount of attention. Those men experience abundance, and abundance changes behavior. When options are constant, urgency disappears. Commitment becomes delayed not necessarily out of cruelty, but because scarcity, the force that drives decision-making, is absent. The friend zone paradox. Many women maintain close friendships with men who care deeply about them. These men are often stable, supportive, emotionally available, yet attraction rarely emerges. Why? Because attraction and compatibility are not identical systems. Psychologically, attraction frequently involves uncertainty, novelty, or perceived status signals. Stability alone does not activate romantic chemistry. So a strange sorting process occurs. Reliable men become friends, exciting men become romantic pursuits. Then frustration arises when excitement lacks stability. The mind asks, why can't I find someone good? While overlooking someone safe, not out of malice, but because emotional categorization already happened. The effort contradiction. Many women still expect traditional dating behaviors. He approaches, he plans, he leads early momentum. But relationships today operate under modern expectations of equality and independence. This creates confusion for men. If traditional effort is required during dating, but traditional roles disappear afterward, the incentive structure feels unclear. Men sense they're expected to perform an older script leading into a completely different ending. Over time, many reduce effort, not from laziness, but from uncertainty about what effort achieves. Dating apps and parallel realities. Dating apps create two entirely different psychological worlds. For many women, overwhelming choice. For many men, overwhelming silence. When options feel endless, each individual option feels less significant. Decision fatigue increases selectivity. Meanwhile, men aware of intense competition feel pressure to perform perfectly from the first message. Both sides experience stress, but interpret it as the other side having advantage. The same system generates opposite emotional realities. Accumulated frustration. By their 30s, most people carry history. Disappointments, misread signals, relationships that almost worked. So when two people meet, they are not starting from zero. They are meeting with invisible baggage. She wonders if he will waste her time. He wonders if she values him or what he provides. Trust decreases before connection even begins, and guarded people struggle to create intimacy. What men over 30 experience. Many men describe their 30s as the first time life feels stable. For some, dating finally becomes easier after years of struggle. With new options comes caution. Freedom feels valuable because it was once scarce. What appears to others as avoidance may feel internally like delayed reward, enjoying autonomy after long periods of rejection or self-development. The core truth. Both sides feel misunderstood. Women feel unseen despite effort and growth. Men feel unappreciated despite building stability. Each believes the other has unrealistic expectations, and both are partially right. Modern dating isn't failing because one side is malicious. It struggles because social rules changed faster than human psychology could adapt. People are still operating with emotional instincts shaped for older environments while navigating entirely new systems. What actually helps? Understanding does not instantly fix dating, but it removes confusion. When you recognize that the other side's experience feels real to them, even when it conflicts with yours, interactions become less adversarial. Connection becomes possible again when both people stop trying to win and start trying to understand. Because beneath the frustration, most people want the same thing: to be chosen, not accidentally, not temporarily, but intentionally. If this resonated, you're not alone. Modern dating feels confusing because it genuinely is.
And sometimes clarity isn't about finding perfect answers. It's about finally understanding why everyone feels lost at the same time.